Hello, everyone, and welcome to the big show. This is Investing and Trading Live. As always, once again, I am your host, Josh Lilquist. Today, we have a weekly recap. We're going to check out the do's and the don'ts of the financial markets, but also a weekly recap of where the stock market has ended with major markets, your ETFs. We'll also look at some individual stocks, some crypto. As we know, crypto is this week was actually a pretty good week, so we're seeing some upward action to that, upside action to that. Well, if we have time, we'll take a peek at the currency market and some futures. As we know, there is risk in trading and investing, and you can and will lose money at one point in your life. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only, mainly mine, but hopefully you find it entertaining as well. So let's start off with a quick market update. Let's look at the S&P 500, closed at 562.01. As we know, we talked about a few things last week. So we talked about a supply zone that we talked about. I think it was on, let's just say last Wednesday, the 4th. And we said, this is a good supply zone. If we see some continuation to the downside and a retracement back to that, we'll see a good supply zone, although it still was an okay supply zone. That being said, it did not hold, and we basically had that drop right out of it and zero continuation. So losing the odds enhancers with that actual supply zone with the S&P 500 ETF, the SPY. And really, the market closed at all-time highs once again. Currently closed at 562.01 on Friday. Market ended at a 0.5% to the upside. So that's your S&P 500. Next, your Dow Jones Industrial Average, the DIA, closed at 414.94. This one, it did not pierce all-time highs, but gosh, within probably a good 10 cents, I would say, 10 to 20 cents of the all-time highs. So looking good for those bulls out there. And no real supply demand zones to speak of on that. The NASDAQ closed at 475.34. So this one here, same story as the S&P 500. Had a nice supply zone in there, but just did not see any continuation out of that. And blew right through that on Wednesday the 11th. So lots some odds enhancers there. So this one not quite as high or quite up to the all-time highs, but that being said, we are within probably 1% of all-time highs. Let's just take a look. Within 6% of all-time highs. So we're getting very close on the S&P 500, the Qs, the NASDAQ. IWM closing the week out at 216.83. So this one here gaps up on Friday and just a continuation there. So no real supplier demands on that I see on that, but that is your IWM, your Russell. All right, some other notable ETFs. XME, which is your mining and metals, shoots up after the drop for the last week and a half or so. Shoots up from Wednesday the 11th into Friday and closing the week at, as I mentioned, $58.65. USO, which is oil, the ETF for oil, coming down to that same demand zone that worked last time and getting near it. So still showing some buying pressure near there. We did go pretty deep into that. I doubt that'll hold next time we get down there, but we will see what happens as time progresses on. As time marches on, as who sang that song? Tracy Lawrence. 69.84 for the USO ETF oil contract. As far as oil, the actual crude oil price, $68.65. Really in a struggle bus, quite frankly, since popped down from the supply zone back in October of last year. So almost 1 year of downside action here. Kind of, down, back up. It never goes straight up or straight down, but we are down roughly over the past year or so, down about 30% almost, so 28%. So that one here probably going to continue to that downside. Might be some buying opportunities there with oil or USO. Doubt it's volatile enough to give any premium. on the option side of it, but it's there. Gold currently closed at $2,577.57, up 0.74% on Friday, and we're at all-time highs. So that's great for us gold holders, physical gold holders. And silver, $30.72, also great for us silver holders. I've had silver for quite some time, back in $15. But I bought it. Let me just see where I got it. I want to say in 2015 or 16, maybe 2017. Let's just see where that's been. Just since we're here. Right around here in 2015, probably right around there is where I bought it. Obviously, I've seen a couple pops out of there, and near all-time highs. Looking pretty good for silver. By the way, it was physical. All right, Bitcoin currently at $59,996 per Bitcoin. This is open right now. This is a 24/7 market. So as you can see, we've seen a good spike up over the last few days here after the really choppy downside action with Bitcoin. Let's peek at HNT. HNT currently all at $7.50. Looks good there. I like that. Continuing to the upside. Mobile probably not doing the same. Still struggling there. Very sideways here for the past couple months here. So that's your crypto market update. Anything else to look at? Maybe we just look at Ethereum since we're here. And this is really struggling as far as Ethereum. Struggling for quite some time. Let's get back our trend line and see what our high is down there. Down 41%. So, it's on sale. Half off. Okay. So let's get into a couple currencies. I know we have an opportunity with the Aussie dollar short, I believe, in the zone. And these are just ideas, not recommendations. My ideas for my entertainment. So currently in the zone, they're looking to take that down to 65 cents. And you have a potential buying opportunity in the Aussie yen, and just in no man's land right now, waiting to be bought. Actually, that's okay. Nvidia, this one here closing the day pretty much right where it opened after it bounced up from the lows that it got down to right around $90, 90.70. Coming right out of that demand zone. Nice typical demand zone right there. There's actually two of them there. First one did not hold, pierced right through it, actually probably in the same day, and then gaps up from there. So textbook there. Currently closed at 119.10. Let's peek at a couple other stocks here since we're at it. Snapchat up 2.15% on Friday, coming out of that same demand zone a couple times here. Same old story. Supply and demand at its finest. Other big movers on Friday. GE was up 5%, probably near all-time highs. GE is looking swell. Looks like I have looked at this one in the past, up 200 something percent. 276% from 20 for 2 years. GE is just rocking to the upside. $178.21. Target still off that demand zone. We waited 6 months for this right here, this demand zone that was created back from May of 2020. Still holding there. Still currently at about a 2-to-1. I do like Nordstrom's. Nordstrom's is a nice stock that actually does give a little bit of premium here and there with options, and probably not a whole lot right now. Currently in the middle of the percent Bollinger Band, so I'd say no opportunities there. What's been beaten up here? New. This is formerly known as Bright Health. Talk about a dog. Woof woof. And then Affirm Holdings. I really like this stock here. Currently coming out of that same demand zone that held for a while. So that one here, $44.01. And closing out your stocks, let's look at, I know Chipotle had a monster day the other day. Cole's Cash, struggling. lower on the percent volume, actually popped up a little bit, so not much of an opportunity there. So that, my friends, is your market update of the week. So stocks end at all-time highs as far as the overall stock market, but not all stocks are at all-time highs. You're seeing a decline in a lot of those. So some are on sale, some opportunities with options moving forward, and your currency market is currently slowing down a little bit, but we're seeing a potential shift in interest rates, looking at a 25, 25 or 50 cut. I believe I believe it's next week as far as the announcement. Let's just take a look at next week, Wednesday. So next week we have core retail sales for news and the Fed funds rate Wednesday at 2 o'clock Central Time. And what is the forecast of a 25.25% basis points? So we're looking at a drop there. There's a, if you go to cme.com, cmegroup.com, I believe you can see the percentages as far as what they could be. Let's see if we can find that here. Interest rates. Data. I thought it was in here somewhere. I'm not exactly where it's at, though. Insights, economic, services. Anywho, I believe it's in here somewhere, but I'm not going to waste your time and sit here and try to find it while you're waiting there patiently. So that being said, there's interest rates coming out next week. Rate cut, most likely, probably 0.25. So that's going to bring some more volatility with the stock market. Is this priced in? You look at the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar has been dropping for about quite some time here. So is this already priced in? That's potential. But if we get below this $100 area right here, look to take that to this potential demand zone right here, or get a little slight demand zone right here as well. So there could be some more downside action with the U.S. dollar, which will most likely drive stocks to the upside. So, so look out for that next week on the Fed funds rate. And the real fireworks is going to start after the announcement, where Jerome Powell will be speaking, and he'll speak on why they did what they did and what they look at moving forward. And that usually sparks the market as far as spooking investors or exciting investors. So let's stay tuned for that. As always, we will be back next week, most likely Monday. As always, collect your profits when they're given to you and protect your losses, keeping them small. Until next time, retire young, my friends.